Long before the world was measured in years. Before maps, before borders. There was a kingdom that rose with the sun and slept with the stars. A place where the wind carried stories. And the earth remembered every footstep. This was a land of rhythm. A land of spirit. A land where even silence had meaning. At the heart of this kingdom, hidden from careless hands, stood a drum. Not just wood, not just skin, but something alive. They said it was carved from the first tree, and stretched with the breath of the sky itself. A drum that did not just make sound, but spoke. And so, a law was made. No one would touch it. No one would play it. For the elders knew, some powers are not meant to be awakened without understanding. And fear can sometimes sound like wisdom. But in every generation, there is one who questions. One who listens more closely than the rest. His name was Taji. A boy with restless eyes. And a heart that refused to stay quiet. By day, Taji lived like everyone else. Carrying wood, fetching water. Following the rhythm of routine. But deep inside him, something felt unfinished. As if his story had already begun. And he had somehow missed the first chapter. Then one night, when the village slept, when even the fire had grown tired, a sound found him. Soft at first. Like a heartbeat hidden beneath the earth. Calling, waiting. Taji followed it. Step by step. Through shadows and silence. Until he stood before the forbidden drum. It did not look dangerous. It did not roar. Or glow. But it felt like something was watching him. He remembered the warning. He remembered the fear in the elders' voices. But curiosity is louder than fear when it speaks from the soul. Slowly, his hand reached forward and touched the drum. The moment his hand struck, the world held its breath. The sound was not loud, but it traveled through the ground, through the air, through something deeper than both. And above him, the sky began to listen. The clouds twisted. The wind rose. And the calm night broke apart. It was as if the heavens had been waiting. Waiting for that single beat to awaken. The village woke in fear. Doors opened. Voices rose. Eyes searched the sky for answers. But found only movement. Only chaos. Something ancient had been disturbed. The king did not need to be told. He felt it. The broken silence. The forgotten rule. His anger was not just rage. It was fear. Of something he did not control. And Taji, realizing what he had done, ran. Not from punishment, but from the weight of the unknown. The drum's echo followed him, like a shadow that would not leave. Then, the sky took form. Clouds gathered into shape. Light folded into presence. And something ancient looked down at him. Not with anger, but with memory. When it spoke, it was not sound, but understanding. A voice that did not enter the ears, but the soul. You did not break the rule. You revealed the truth. Visions filled his mind. Of a time when the drum was not feared, but honored. When its rhythm brought rain. When its voice guided the land. The drum had not been dangerous. It had been forgotten. And as the visions faded, the truth remained. The land had grown silent. The sky had stopped listening. Not because it abandoned them, but because they stopped calling. The spirit looked at Toji. And in that moment, he understood. Not chosen by accident, but by courage. The drum had called him, because he dared to answer. So he returned. Not as the boy who left, but as someone carrying something greater than fear. Each step back to the village felt heavier, but clearer. The people gathered. The king stood before him. And this time, Taji did not run. He spoke. Not loudly, but with truth. And truth has a way of being heard. He stepped forward, placed his hands on the drum, and began. Not with force, but with rhythm. A sound that felt like memory. Like something returning home. The sky changed again. But this time, it did not rage. It listened. The clouds opened, as if recognizing a voice long forgotten. And then, the rain came. Not slowly, not gently, but fully. Like the sky itself was breathing again. The king lowered his head. Not in defeat, but in understanding. For power is not always control. Sometimes, it is learning when to listen. The village danced. Not just for the rain, but for what had been restored. Connection, balance, memory. Toji stood among them. But he was no longer just a boy. He carried something older than himself. And stronger than fear. The drum was played again. Not as a weapon, but as a bridge. Between earth and sky. Between past and present. And the children learned. Not just how to play, but why. Because some traditions are not meant to be kept silent. The sky cleared. The land softened. And everything felt as it should be. And so the story was told. Again and again. Not as a warning, but as a reminder. That sometimes, the things we fear are the very things meant to save us.